Hey, hello there. Um, doing another summer sit-in video here tonight. Um, so it is pretty close to 7 in the evening. So definitely got a couple hours to kind of just enjoy myself, relax, before I go to bed and, wake up and go to work tomorrow. I already got some stuff prepped, although I could go downstairs and go ahead and make sandwiches for me and my dad tomorrow, and probably throw a few things and carrots and trail mix and chips and all that in some bags, but I'm not too worried right now. So yeah, today's work day was pretty good. Weather was nice. Wasn't really anything particularly interesting or exciting, but glad it went well. So anyways here. So I'm probably just gonna play some more Minecraft or something. And I don't know. I was considering playing more of the Jedi Survivor game they have on Xbox downstairs or something like that. But I don't know if I will or not. I kind of torn a little bit. If I play on the server here, I get to do it with a couple of friends. It's been pretty nice, and I kind of just enjoying watching a few Minecraft videos. I did watch a little bit more politics stuff today, but I decided this evening, I don't really want to do that right now. Just kind of enjoy this time that I have a bit. I kind of thought I'd do this a little bit, just before I, play or watch anything or whatever here. I imagine my dad and, we'll be all back in about an hour or so. From their event that they're going to. So they're going to P-Flag, so that's pretty cool. I haven't been to terribly many of those myself, but I'm glad that they're enjoying it. My dad and my brother. Anyways, yeah, so kind of tired, kind of a little bit of allergy stuff going on. I didn't really feel it very much earlier today, but it's kind of catching up with me this evening. So, super fun, super lovely. But anyways, besides that, nothing else really happened today. I mean, that's pretty much just been the whole thing. Just went to work. Then I'm back here at home. I just had dinner not too long ago. I had some taquitos, and then I made and then I did a frozen meal, which was like it was like a healthier frozen meal. So some kind of like, I don't know. So some kind of like, let's say like chickpea chili or something or other. I don't know, whatever it was, something or another. And I liked it. It was pretty good. Glad that we, got some of these like healthier frozen meals. So that's nice. A little bit more natural stuff in those. And then I had some M&Ms. I was gonna have a sparkling ice water, but we didn't have any in the fridge, so I put some in there. And if I go back downstairs, which I probably will at some point, I reckon, but it's just a refill of water, right? But if I'm down there for longer, whether to watch something or play something down there or whatever, I'll probably grab one of those, enjoy it, I had a couple sodas earlier this week and a little bit last weekend, but I don't want to be having too many of those. I don't typically have very many sodas. I mostly just drink water and sparkling ice water, which I like both of them. I've been having some Gatorade at work here. It's just the lemon lime one. Doesn't give me any headaches or anything because the weird food dies. Like it's yellow. I haven't had any bad experiences with the yellow ones. Mostly just with the particular like reds, blues, and some of the purples and some of the greens. But oranges and yellows are fine in my experience. Don't know why. That's something more interesting than that. Well, I don't know. I mean, again, I don't really want to overthink it too much, but, I've had a lot of times, a lot of days, whether like this or not exactly, where I've kind of gotten to the point of the day, where I'm kind of tired, right, and it's getting late, and I've already done a lot of the other stuff in the day, taking care of some other things, but, right, I kind of just like, all right, I can decide, what it is that I want to get myself involved in, what I want to enjoy, what do I want to do for the next few hours, and, I think I'm gonna learn this, I don't think I am, but, kind of a tendency to sort of really just get like sucked into it, and then you're like, you kind of just like really focus on it, and then, before you know it, it's bedtime pretty much, right, and, you kind of, I don't know, it's sort of, it can be fun, but, you just want to make sure, like, oh, I'm enjoying that time, and I don't know, I'm probably just overthinking whatever, like, there's, I say, like, you use your time wisely, but I don't, maybe sometimes I might feel a little bit paranoid about that, like, it's not a bad thing, to find myself, I think it's okay, if I'm generally having some fun a little bit, playing or watching something, that's okay, right? So it's kind of just trying to remind myself of that, but I thought, you know what, I might make a video before I do that, kind of just share a little more of the thoughts, the feelings, kind of stuff going on, and all that. Oh yeah, so fun little update here thing. So, if I want to try to be able to apply for any positions, with the media communications major that I have, will be working towards, if I get any jobs in that sector at Berea, which is school I'm going to, college I'm going to, right, I will, well, I was told that I could try to make a video or two, something like, it was like day in the life of, me being in Sydney or something, what I'm, probably would call it that, but, something like that, and, I think that could be, that'd be kind of fun, although I don't know how I would, edit all that exactly, or anything like that, but, or what sort of style I would go with. I kind of feel like that at least with like a lot of media, I mean, I get it, right, it kind of just appeals to, the masses and all that, but it's like, you kind of expect this like very edited, very fast paced, very, kind of to the point kind of, kind of stuff, and it has all sort of like, nice like jazz beats or like, you know, preppy like pop music or something. I don't know, right? Um, stuff like that, I suppose, right? And you kind of have all kinds of like, cool like camera angles and like, it's like super bright and all that stuff, Um, I don't really know if I'd actually do anything like that. I feel like, for myself, I know maybe people don't necessarily always understand the most amount of stuff I'm trying to say here. And I could maybe really work on that. But, you know, I like it. Even if I don't always feel the best about it, I still want to try to be authentic. I still want to try to present myself, the way that I think and feel. All right. And that's part of the whole thing of why I keep these, summer sit-ins, daily walk videos, etc., unedited, right? I don't put music over top of them or anything like that most of the time because it feels a lot more real, right? Like you're getting to see my real thoughts, my real emotions, my real physical state. All right, I'm not gonna, fluff it up. I'm not gonna try to pretend like it's something else. Then it's not, right? And maybe it's not the most exciting. Maybe it's not the most glamorous or anything, but it's real, and that matters to me. So, but I don't know. Maybe it might be fine. Maybe we'll think of something good. Who knows? Probably figure something out. It's probably, unless it's not really the most pressing matter on my plate of what kind of stuff I'd be even doing there anyways. I mean, I still gotta figure out this stuff, like, I gotta figure out, like, what kind of food am I gonna be eating, what's my phone plan gonna be like, what's my, how, what kind of transportation methods I'm gonna be using, all these different kind of questions, concerns, etc., right, more practical, more practical things, right, that I should probably spend some time really thinking about and researching this summer, and then also really thinking about, when I'm there and kind of developing the strategy. Now, I've kind of said this maybe before, with some of these previous videos, summer sit-ins, daily walk videos, etc. But, as the time gets closer for me to leave, and it's not quite there yet, I still have quite some time. I'll be leaving in mid-July, right, and it's like May 22nd or 23rd or something like that today. Well, anyways, right, still a ways away, but, I am pretty excited, but at the same time, I feel really nervous, right, especially, I'm going to be there for, about 4.5 months, something like that, and, I think I picked a good place. I think that, there's a lot of things that I chose really well with, things that I think will probably work out, probably a lot of people that I can, people resources that I can utilize, counselors, program counselors, teachers, I can use the internet, I can, use all these different things at my disposal, trying to just remind myself of that so I can feel a little bit better. Right, a little bit less stressed out. But I know I'm going to feel anxious. I'm probably going to feel really, really anxious. I imagine I'm going to feel really, really stressed out, especially the first week or two, maybe 3 weeks or something like that, because there'll be so many new things, and it will be challenging for me to adjust to all of that. Right, especially me being, me being a person, generally of, routine and, some level of comfort and all that, right? So, like, I'm really putting myself out there, and I'm really putting myself out of my comfort zone, but, I think it's a great opportunity. I think that there's a lot of things that I will get to, experience fun things I'll have, a lot of lessons I'll learn, I'm sure, and I'm, but, again, right, I have some human resources, I have, I've had some skills, I have some different things that I've done before, right, so I've had some different jobs, in case I need to, I don't know if any of my job experience would translate over to anything while I'm there, but, maybe it might, who knows, if it, really comes to it, right, I know how to, do some cooking, I know how to, vacuum, sweep, do other chores, right, I know how to do my own laundry, I've done that for years, right, I have, decent, I think at least decently good social skills, right, I speak English fluently, right, all of these different things, right, and, I have overall pretty good sense of hygiene, all these different things, right, so I think, I have all these different things in place that will help me out, and I'm glad that I know, and I'm really thankful, I'm really grateful for my parents for, instilling these things in me, right, but anyways, I do feel, I feel both quite anxious and excited, but at the same time too, I don't want entirely just, ignore whatever stuff I may get to do this summer. I know a lot of it's probably just going to be much like today, maybe not weather-wise, it was on much on the cooler side, but, right, but, going to work, with my dad, and then, coming back here, and then, having dinner, and then just playing or watch something for, a few hours, and then, going to bed, and just pretty much repeating that, for a lot of days here, but, it's for a good cause, and I am glad that I'm going to spend some time again with, with my family and all that, and, so anyways, I think I pretty much covered all my bases there, pretty much most of the stuff, oh, well, I am going to try to, I don't know if I'll do it tonight or not, but maybe I'll do it right after I finish this video, maybe I won't, who knows, but, considering, so I have, like, one or two more short-ish videos, that I could do, so I'll just have to see if I'll do those or not, upload them, who knows, maybe I'll just record another random session on, like, Paul the Wild's server or something, that could be fun, but, anyways, thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching this. If you enjoyed it, feel free to like the video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell. I'm trying to reach 100 subscribers before I leave for Sydney, Australia on July 18th. That is the day that I will be leaving. So if you want to help me reach that goal, much appreciated. If I can reach that goal by my birthday, that would be fantastic. My birthday is June 14th, also known as Flag Day. Super cool little thing there. Born on a minor holiday, whatnot. So I think that's pretty cool. It's born on the whole day sort of, it kind of foreshadowed something with me, right? But anyways, so if hopefully you enjoyed this, and see you next one.